Before I got onto self-improvement properly, there was a bunch of habits that I was doing every day and every week that was literally ruining my life. It was taking me further back away from my goals. And one of those was staying up late and scrolling through social media and watching YouTube videos late at night. You see, as the day progresses, there are cells in the back of your eyes that become more and more sensitive to light. So first thing in the morning, they aren't very sensitive to light, and that's why we have to get outside, get light into them to tell our bodies that it's time to be awake. But as we stay up longer and the day progresses and we get closer towards the time that we need to go to bed, these cells actually become more active. And I used to do this all the time, where right before I would go to bed, I would get into bed and then say, I'm going to go to sleep now. It's like 9:30, 10 o'clock. I've got work the next day. But I would just pull out my phone, open up YouTube, open up Instagram, start scrolling through YouTube, start scrolling through YouTube Shorts. I would just do that for a few hours before I actually got to sleep. What I do now that's massively helped is, as I get into bed, I literally just put my phone onto airplane mode, or I'll just switch it off and put it to the side on charge, and I'll try and just do everything in my power to not go on it. A tip that helped me that might help you is I started using the app Medito because I wanted to start meditating, and they have some really good sleep meditations that you can just put on your phone, and whilst that meditation is playing, you can't go on your phone or do anything because you have to listen to the meditation. So that helped me to avoid going on my phone late at night. Leading on from this habit is the second habit that is ruining your life: scrolling through social media and just being addicted to social media in general. Now, this was genuinely ruining my life. I would spend close to 3 hours a day just scrolling through Instagram. Instagram was the biggest one for me that I really struggled to not go on. Every time I picked up my phone, I had this weird urge where my finger would just force itself to the Instagram app, and I would just constantly press that app. I must open that app 50 times in a day, and I would scroll through it for 5 minutes here and scroll through it for 10 minutes here. My attention was just being diverted all over the place, from a fitness influencer to some thirst trap of a girl, and then some kind of money making thing, and then an Andrew Tate clip, and my brain was just going all over and over all these different videos, and I was getting fed all this different context. There's something that happens in our brain called context switching, and this essentially means that our brain has to focus on all these different sort of videos, and it's like the context behind each of the videos. So it takes a lot of processing power for your brain to actually just scroll through Instagram. It takes a lot of energy that you could otherwise spend on reading or learning a new skill or recording videos or doing a YouTube channel or whatever productive thing it is that you want to do. So easy, quick fix for me that solved this was I deleted all my social media. I've done a bunch of videos on how to decrease your phone time and how to quit social media and stuff, so you can go check them out on my channel. Something that I used to do all the time, it was a really bad habit, is I would keep my room in a constant state of being very untidy, and I would have my bin overflowing with rubbish. I would have my bed messy. I would just wake up and, however I woke up out of bed, that's how the bed stayed. I had clothes all over the floor. I used to use this chair to pile up clothes that weren't quite dirty enough, but also weren't quite clean enough to put into the cupboard, but I didn't really want to put them in the wash yet. So I had a chair that was just piling up with clothes, and my room was just a mess. And the thing is, if we can keep our room clean, our space clean, our desk clean, it just helps keep our mind clean and help us feel better. And it can really ruin your life and make you feel so depressed and so down about life when you just come home from work, come home from the gym, and you come into a room that is just messy. So just spend one day every week, just a couple hours or just half an hour, and just clean your room, vacuum it, get it all nice and clean, and it's going to massively improve your ability to just focus on your work, to focus on yourself without having to think about the fact that you're just in a messy room. And leading on from that, if we want to keep our space clean, it's also important that we keep our internal space clean and our internal space healthy. Andrew Huberman says that if you want to change the mind, you have to change the body. And if you want to change the body, you have to change the mind. If we want to feel better and keep our mind clean and keep the anxiety away and feel like we're on a path to success and feel good with ourselves, we need to change the body. So go for a walk, go for a run, go do some cardio at the gym, go lift some heavy ass weights. It will make you feel so much better. Today, I actually really wasn't in the mood to go to the gym. I was very close to skipping it. I got back late from work, so I knew the gym was going to be busy and I just did not want to deal with it. But you know what? I got in there, I had a really good session. There's a guy came into the gym who I've sort of seen on and off as like a sort of friend. I don't even really know his name, but he's a sound guy, really nice guy. And I had my headphones on. I was doing the rowing machine, you know, with the weights on each arm, and I was doing back. And I finished the set and he came over, he was like, "Yes, bro, how you doing?" And then I took my headphones off and he was like, "Right, I'm going to spot you on the next set." And he really pushed me on that set and I got like a PR with that weight. And it's just little interactions like that. And it made me feel so much better for like the rest of today. And you can just come out of the gym sometimes and feel so much better and so much healthier in your brain and so much more productive, and it's just such a great feeling. So if you want to change the brain, you've got to do something with the body. And then if you want to keep your body healthy, you've got to keep your brain in check. You've got to stay motivated to go to the gym. You've got to stay positive. You've got to stay working towards a goal. You've got to constantly learn how to keep your body clean and healthy, like, you know, eating the right kind of food. This all ties in with diet. You've got to go to the gym, learn the exercises. So if you can keep your brain healthy, that's going to help you to keep your body healthy, motivated to stay healthy. And then when you actually go and do the things to keep your body healthy, that's going to make you feel better in your brain. And it makes this great feedback loop, the kind of mind-body feedback loop. And that's going to hugely improve your life. And before I was doing any of this stuff with the gym and self-improvement, I would just eat whatever I want and let myself get all puffy and fat, and you know, my skin was terrible and I felt terrible, and it was kind of the opposite end of where I'm at now. And that was the space I was in for a lot of years, and I imagine you could be in this situation. So keep your body clean, keep your mind clean, and yeah, just keep in mind, if you want to change the brain, you've got to change the body. If you want to change the body, you've got to change the brain. Throughout the entire day, I pretty much just sucked on a vape pen, and I did this for a few years. And before that, I was doing something even worse. I was smoking cigarettes, right? Smoking tobacco. And I did this for years, probably about 4 years. And, you know, I originally got into smoking cigarettes when I started going out drinking with my friends, and, you know, there'd be other friends who would all share a cigarette outside, and I sort of got into it that way. And then I learned that, you know, smoking's pretty bad for you, it's not very good, and I got sold into the kind of lie that vaping's better for you, where in actual fact you vape like 10 times more than you do smoke cigarettes. So even if vaping isn't as bad for you, like it's 10 times less bad for you, if you're smoking, you know, vaping 10 to 20 times more than you were smoking, it's like still worse for you than smoking cigarettes, if that makes sense. So one of the things that was literally ruining my life, specifically ruining my breathing, was just smoking and vaping. And I did this for years. And, you know, recently, probably about 7 months ago, I completely stopped vaping, because that's what I got like completely addicted on. I was just vaping constantly throughout all the hours of the day. And it was starting to really affect my breathing. When I go to bed at night, I would, you know, be in silence and try and listen to this meditation app. And I could just hear like a wheeze in my breath as I was breathing in. So it's really important that you quit vaping and smoking, and I think it is actually really important that you do that. And what I do, I'm still like, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm still addicted to nicotine, and I do use nicotine. So I use these nicotine pouches that you just put in your lip, and I've also got nicotine gum, and that's massively helped me. I've not vaped or smoked since. I've vaped a little bit, I'm not gonna lie to you, like there was 1 or 2 nights where had a quick vape on someone else's. But it's not something, I don't go out and buy vapes anymore. I just buy these nicotine things. And I think from the research I've done, they're a lot less dangerous, but it does still give you that nicotine. So if you do need nicotine, like you can't, you know, stop vaping, you just can't, then do that. But obviously the best case scenario is that you don't have a reliance on it. But I'm not going to speak for that because I've not done that myself. So I'm not going to lie, you know, that's just what I use. Literally every night a few years ago, I would watch porn. I would watch porn every single night. And I was completely addicted to it. This was a few years ago now. And for the past year and a half or so, I stopped watching porn. I used to watch it all the time, and it was really affecting my ability to like have sex. So I just stopped doing it because it was interfering with that, and it probably is for you as well. I think NoFap is important, like to not masturbate. I think masturbating every day is bad. I just do. From the research I've looked into it, it looks like it lowers testosterone. It looks like it lowers your sex drive overall as a man. But I strongly think that no porn is a lot more important of a step than no fap. So if you're going to go into it and you just can't complete no fap for whatever reason, right? No Nut November and all that shit, you just can't complete it. Just start with no porn, okay? That's the most important thing, because that's the mental side of it, right? Remember the mind and the body, yeah? Changing those two things. The mind is what's going to control what the body does. So if you can clear your mind to not need to actually consume that kind of content, it's more likely going to translate down to you changing the body and not having those urges to masturbate. And the last habit that is ruining your life, it was ruining my life, was not getting outside. I would spend pretty much the entire day inside. I would walk to the bus station that was outside. That was the only time I'd be outside. I would get on the bus, go to work my 9 to 5 indoors, walk back to the bus station. That's the second time I was outside. And then would spend all day in this room playing fucking video games, right? Just playing GTA constantly. I used to do this every day for years, right? All throughout high school, all throughout college, or sixth form it's called in the UK that I went to, but college, and then my first job. I would just literally play video games and I would barely get any sunlight. I would barely go outside. And when we get outside, especially in the morning, that helps set our circadian rhythm, which is going to be hugely beneficial for your ability to go to sleep. And I've noticed now that since I just go outside way more, one, my skin's improved a lot. My mood has improved because I'm just seeing more nature, being in the sun more, being in the natural sunlight more. It's where humans are supposed to be. Humans are not meant to be indoors all day looking at a screen, right? We're just not. So you need to get outside more, get the sunlight, get the vitamin D. It's going to help set your circadian rhythm and it's going to help you get to sleep better. The amount of benefits that you get from going outside, literally endless, right? It's going to help your eyesight as well. And what I'd recommend you do is listen to Andrew Huberman's podcast, Huberman Lab, and it will have a bunch of episodes in there that you can find about sunlight, about getting outside, and about sleep, and they all kind of reference the same thing, which is just getting outside more. How many was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 habits there. These are the habits that I was doing pretty much every day, every week, for years, and it was hugely setting me back from my self-improvement journey. So if you're doing any of these, I hope these recommendations were helpful to you. I hope this video helps you in any way. And with that, thank you for watching, and improve yourself by 1% every day, and you will get there. See ya.